Among many friends of my peers in this institute or in work, they ask me about my life and what I talking about. Here, I try to say that is briefly to friends and colleague. At I am talking some days here about democracy and how can we together, cooperate together as a Sudanese people inside Sudan to change our situation to a democracy. As we understand that is a democracy itself as conception is the best discover or the best discovery that is the human being has reached in during the history in the way how he rules himself and he rules his interests. Or democracy is as understanding and concept built on awareness of individual some form in societies, and they can on the base or the base stone that is how to respect human rights. Human rights is the base that is a big or build democracy already. Some understanding or conception that is how culture that is how human being can deal with themselves. So this understanding of respect the human right, if everybody, every individual person, society use it that automatically we find that the people can share many values and they were going forward to have they build trust in themselves and cooperate or building cooperation between them. Everybody can do his job without double or see that is or double in another person. This tax of respect human right and trust in society or in individual and the cooperation between the people, between the human being, take place in society among the members of the society as a culture between them, as the rules, not written rules, and understanding between them. The awareness of the human being, or the awareness of the society about human rights and the trust and cooperation between them automatically lead them to build an state. What I used to set that and I understanding from my living here in one of very nice and one of the human democracy in Norway, as people themselves in the society respect the human rights and they understanding the human rights. So that is, we understand when this kind of conception built in society, it is going forward, that is the people can building the state. We cannot build a democracy from the upper, from over, by political parties or movements or individual not share anything with their society. We cannot build, and that will be like just like a colonial state in our country. Most of African countries today, we yes, we we what you call we take the state from the colonial time. It built for their interest, and it used their own officers or their own people in that time, and they put their own rules for the benefit of the colonial. During that time, there is many individual person or many groups also who operate with the colonial, as we have in Sudan. Is very strange. That is at the society in Sudan is not. The society is built through the history with the different categories. We have the original people as the Negro nations. They used to call Negro nations as academic, word. And we have immigrants through the time. They came Arab from West Asia, is Islam. They try to say that they came as a trader, or they come. We understand that they come as invaders and brought Islam. And during the history, they came invaders from Roman, before Arab, and then Ottomanic Empire, and then the modern colonial of the British or European. During the time of the British colonial, Sudanese society divided in the class groups of classicilia, that is Norwegian word. They put the European and the British people were in the upper class, and then the Arab, and then they used to call themselves Arab, called them Pektas. People consider themselves as Arab, and we have Nektas, people Negro, but consider themselves as Arab. And so the indigenous people was the last people in this society. During this 64 years of what we used to call GP Jalaba people state, the situations of the society or the build of the categories of the society in our country is just like what happened in South Africa before, during the apartheid system. Here, you can find in apartheid system in South Africa, they deal with subduer and Indian and then indigenous people or black people there. In Sudan, we have 4 categories still today. The Pektas, or the people whom consider themselves Arab, or most of them are the children of the soldier of Ottomanic during the Ottomanic Empire. And so the Arab, or the people that is who consider themselves Arab also, the Nektas, most of them built as during the slavery, and they used to call they took people, they took children from the village of the African people, and they adopted them, and they called them as Arab, a nomad Arab, and they consider in this categories the second class. And the third class as black but Muslim, and this fourth class as black but not Muslim. As you see, till now in Sudan, black not Muslim is in South Sudan. Uh, Society like this can never have, they never trust in themselves. They never trust, and they cannot cooperate to lead or steer the country or interesting. And as the country is being, the state is belong to the people in the first group, we think that is normally the situation as we have now in Sudan is a conflict between all groups. Inside any class of this, you can find many groups. The first groups, or the Jalaba groups, used to call them, they called themselves Arab, and in the north, they were the children of the Ottoman Empire. They put the perspective of Sudan should be Arab Muslim country, without no respect for our history as an African people, or our culture, or our humanity. What has happened during the last century and the beginning of this century, as the state his policy to impose the Arab state in the heart of African people, and you found that the reviews from the societies, all the groups refuse this policy. If you ask that is how many people that is they consider them in the first group as petas, during according to the last during or according to the last population statistic that is done by the group of Jalaba people under the Islamic regime, they were said that the Sudanese people, all of them about 40 million, 2 million are in the north, in the border of Egypt, and the other in southern people, the group number four groups, about 9 million. And if you add the Arab, or they consider themselves as Arab in west and in the middle, it's not more than 2 million. So we have about 4 million that is in the first group and the second group, and the other groups about 93% of the people. But if you ask why 93% of the people of population cannot change it, work for the change the situation there, I can say to you that is the policy of the state during this time is put that is a program how the people should be illiterate, without no education, without no awareness in any part of their life. So that is the suitable situation for them to live as their deities. What I do, and another friend, that is we are working together is how we can teach our people about the meaning of democracy and the human right. The concept of human rights that is we found in the international, all the conventions of the UN. Uh, we find that is in our culture, in our value. And all what is written in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, we can find that is in our values, in our culture. But our society is posed to accept the country by the Sharia law or the leading of the Sharia law. The meaning that is, or what we mean, state leading by Sharia law is not only the law that is applied in the courts, but only the perspective or the perspective of Islamic Arab view about us and about the life. And this is meaning that is you are, as an African people, in this conception, you have no any value, and your cultures also have no any value, and this is against and opposite for what is written in the international or universal declaration of the human rights in UN. What we did now, we try to teach our people about the conceptions and any ideas in international or international declaration of the human rights on and the other conventions about what is concerned the children conventions or the human or educations and the rights of about political and and yes and political rights, economic and cultural rights. What I did here. This can lead us. We build the conception of democracy in individual inside the society, and that will give the energy and the power of the people in the societies to build a state in the end, by any means necessary. If we cannot we have no any awareness about our interest or trust in ourselves, we cannot going to cooperate with ourselves from the different group of the people to have to build an state for ourselves. What we need from the other people whom are our friends in all over the world, and from Europe or any other countries, that is the issues of human rights in Sudan. It is not a civil right. It is not a civil problem. It is a human problem. And the human rights problem in any place in the world, it concerns all the humans in this earth, in this world. As we understanding that is the problem in any place, in any country, as a human problem in any country, we should all of us cooperate and work together to have to work in this value that is all the peoples today with the human cultures in the world, like passion for democracy and passion for the new life and adherence of injustice against any human being in this world, we can together working to build a world without injustice, without war, and with peace. We cannot do that if we see what is going on in Sudan today, and we think that that is a problem of the Sudanese problem. It is on for the Sudanese. It is not our problem. As in many cases in the world, it happened in the beginning of the World War II. The issues of the Jewish, for example, in Europe, it being as a human problem, and it concerned for all the people in all over the world, and help the Jewish people till build their own state with their dignity. All the people is thinking today as what is going on in the Middle East. It is not concern the people in the Middle East, but concern the people in Palestine, for example, all the human beings all over the world, and mobilize. And we are going to mobilizations to make a mobilizations for support, and yes, from different part, and to help the human that is suffering in Palestine. What is happened in South Africa as a human being, or as the world and democracies country in many parts of the world working together and boycott the South African regime, and help the South African people until the change happened in South Africa. That is what we need today in Sudan. And we concern the political problem in our country is just like apartheid problem in South Africa. An apartheid problem is not just was in South Africa. Apartheid was a part, until today, the part of many countries in North Africa. Sudan, one of them. And the people, the suffering of the people is not just what is the media and the human right organizations give us in Darfur are happen. The government commit the genocide against innocent people, but the genocide take a place in South Sudan, in Nuba Mountain, in Al-Funch. Al-Funch is a Blue Nile, in Abidjan, in many different sites of Sudan. This kind of state in Sudan, that is we have, this kind of regime in Sudan, the problem is not concern the Islamic group lead the state in the last 30 years. But the Islamic group itself is one is a part of the problem of many other groups share the same idea and share the same conception, and or share the same regime from 1956. And the Islamic regime or the Islamic group in Sudan is the result of the problem. We used to say that is the result of problem because what has happened in 1956, the implementation of an Arab state in Sudan, in Sudan, in the middle of Africa, without respect the African culture, the African history, the African people, and African dignity, and get a support from many African countries, Arab League, working together to support the regime, to support the state with its 20 regime. Al-Bashir regime was the 12th, number 12. One of those regimes have the same idea, is continuous to do a racism and a war against the people of Sudan. When the people is calling here is that is the problem is only the Islamic group and the Islamic regime, the last one. This gives us that is they want to yes, yes, want to forget the old crime that has happened in Sudan from all the regimes, starting from Al-Azhari till today. And the people or the group that belong to Al-Azhari or al-regime of Numairi or Sadiq al-Mahdi, and those are those as a part of the problem in our country, the making problem in our country. They came today and then playing a new Hippocratic rule, and this rule they preparing themselves to take a power again and going to make the same problem, the same issues that has happened again. In the part of our what we are doing also with my colleague, my friends, that is we should teach our people his own history, the history that is refused to put in schools books, to teach them at university, or to browse them at the media. And this is history of our people there is the same history like all other people in all over the world. Everybody, every human being have their own history and their own and with our rights, that is to know our history. The history is give us awareness about ourselves. The history is give us awareness about the situation that is we living together. Okay. Tack min vän idag och alla andra som är här idag. Vi snackar och vi fortsätter snacka om problem i Sudan. Om vi kan illustrera the problem i Sudan i riktigt måta. Vi har sagt för att Sudan today after the British colonial vi har mer än 64 år. Vi är icke this is not independence. Men vi fragt as we are at samfund, Sudanese samfund, fragt from a colonial. We used to say that is outside colonial to internal colonial. Vi kom ut från brittisk koloni som skedde för Sydafrika. Sydafrikas folk frakt från colonial av britiske koloni til apartheid-system. Og det som vi har I Sudan today. I dag, alle samfunn som I Sudan opplever koloni, internial koloni, med apartheid-systemet. Apartheid I Sør-Afrika delta folk I samfunnet I 3 kategorier. Boer det hvit folk det første klasse. Indianer for indianer det andre klasse. Det var 4 kategorier. Og det blander med hvite tredje andre. Og indianer var nummer 3. Og afrikanere var nummer 4. I Sudan vi har samme situasjon. De som kalla seg araberne, og faktisk det utmenneske barn, det nummer 1, første gruppe, og arab, det nummer 2 gruppe, og afrikanerne, men muslimer, det nummer 3 I tredje gruppe, og afrikanere, men ikke muslimer, nummer 4. Disse situasjoner kan ikke vi sier at vi kvalifisert nok til å bygge et demokrati I vårt land. Et demokrati som vi forstår, og det målet for hva vi snakker om, hva vi jobber for. Det betyr at alle mennesker I samfunnet skulle være lik mennesker, og lik som citizens, borger. Vi kan ikke kategorier mennesker I samfunnet. Vi kan ikke sier at mennesker skulle behandler med mennesker I bakgrunn av det etnisk, kulturell eller hudfarge eller religion. Vi kan snakke bare om mennesker som mennesker, uansett av sin religion, kultur eller etnik. Disse forståelser skulle være I samfunnet. Og I samfunnet skulle ha tillit med hverandre, respekt for menneskeretter og samarbeid for å bygge staten for å styre seg selv. Hva vi jobber I og mange andre kolleger, hvordan vi kan separere forståelser som vi oppdaget fra internasjonale menneskerettererklæring og alle andre konvensjoner som snakker om menneskeretter og snakker om hvordan vi kan bygge ny staten med ny situasjon at mennesker lever I fred og respekt og samarbeid med hverandre. I dag land styres med militær, våpen, vold, respekterer ikke menneskeretter. I dag vi har mer enn 20 millioner av mennesker lever I leier, lever på flyktningsleier inne I landet og ute av landet. I dag vi har mer enn 85% av mennesker som alfabetisme. Mest av dem kvinner. I dag vi Alle skoler slutter i mange landets byer og byer. Skoler slutter at barna, gutter, skal bli militær. I dag vi lever som fattigdom i mer enn 95% er under fattigdomslinja. Dette landet kan ikke fortsette slik, men ansvarlig for å skifte eller forandre situasjonen er ligge for det folk seg selv. Men det problem av menneskeretter i verden, som jeg sagt, det er ansvar av alle mennesker som forstår menneskeretter. Det kan samarbeide, det kan hjelpe, det kan støtte, det kan gjøre som mennesker kan leve i hele verden med fred og respekt og bygge sitt eget land. Vi som bor i et demokratisk land kan bidra med å snakke eller presse i media at situasjoner som slik går i Sudan, under sharia-lov, under rasisme, under apartheid, kan ikke fortsette. Landet som er Norway, landet som er EU, landet som er AU, FN, alle som er medlemmer har, kan presse og snakke om situasjonen kan forandre seg i Sudan. Slik vi kan gå videre til å bygge ny Sudan. Takk for meg. Abubakar.